Welcome back, ladies, gentlemen, and NBs, and thank you for tuning back into St. Andrew TV, a cure for your Monday blues. I am your host, Andrew, and today we have another fancy gun spinning trick for all of you to try out with me. This one is called the over-the-top spin. That is the over-the-top spin, and if you stick with me, I'm going to show you how to do it. Now, as we get into yet another fancy gun spinning trick, what is the first thing that we do before we practice the new fancy iron twirling? We are going to take our 6 gun here, we are going to place it in a half cock and open the loading gate to make sure that there is nothing in that cylinder. Safety first here on St. Andrew TV. With all that out of the way, you can see from the introduction and now that this particular gun spin starts in the holster, and the whole idea is to bring it up with a forward spin and get it into a firing position while simultaneously cocking the gun as it makes the rotation up to where that barrel is parallel. So when you are pulling the gun from the holster, you are pulling it with your finger in the trigger guard. This is why we do it without the gun being loaded. So as you yank it up forward, I suggest that you let go and almost tilt it forward like that, and hopefully you get enough momentum to bring it up here. And as you get it up here, when you get your fingers wrapped around the grip, this is where your thumb lands on the hammer and cocks the pistol, just like so. As with many of these, that is very simple in theory. Don't touch your face, Andrew. However, in practice, it is a little bit more difficult. There are certain ways to position your finger when you grab the pistol while it is in your holster to give it more momentum spinning upward. Like you've seen on the channel before, we've done a backward spin coming out of the holster, and that is working with your arm. This is actually working against your arm, which makes it a little bit more difficult. However, once you get it up to a firing position, it does make it easier because the gun is actually spinning in a way that it makes it easier for your thumb to cock the hammer in one fluent motion. The same applies with this one. We are going to do it from the front, and we are going to try and complete it. Then we will go full speed, and then we will slow it down, and then we will move off to the side. Spoiler alert, when we get off to the side, I'm going to show you how I position my finger inside the trigger guard to bring that pistol up and give me the best momentum to complete that rotation. Firmly grasp your pistol in that holster and make sure that your finger is in that trigger guard. I try to have it pretty vertical when I start this, and then you are going to yank that pistol forward. So as we do that, the pistol should start moving forward as you yank it out of the holster, just like so. Can't really slow it down for you, but as you can see, everything was in line when I got my pistol up to a firing position. It looked very smooth, actually. That was one of the better ones I've done today, so I'm glad that it was caught on camera to prove that I can do it. All right, now we're going to try it in full speed. This should be very quick and very tidy. And the idea after you get it up here is to cock the pistol in one motion. Just like that. That is about as good as we're going to get. Like I said, your arm is moving in a way where it would be easier to make a backward spin coming out of the holster because the gun is naturally just going to come out like this. So if you pull it like that, just like that, really simple. We don't need to practice it. And I do believe we've done something similar to that here on St. Andrew TV. As I said before, you're working against your arm when you're rotating the pistol in this capacity. Just like that. A little difficult, and I didn't even cock it there because I was trying to get a grasp on it. But like I said, you are working against your own arm. Now we're going to move from the side, and you're actually going to see what my hand does, and with an extension of my arm, on the side of the gun here. When I actually draw, I kick it forward a little bit. Let's do it from the side here. We're going to slow it down and try to get a very tidy one up front, and then we'll speed it up, and then we'll slow it down. Obviously, you don't want the nose of your pistol to duck down a little bit. You are trying to get it on a parallel plane. Pretend like there's something that you're firing at, and you're going to fire from the hip and try to hit your target. That's the idea. If you'll notice, I'm also putting a lot of pressure when I kick it forward. I have my finger at the about 2 o'clock position here, and I'm tilting the gun like this. If you can see that, I'm pushing it forward and also lifting up on it while I try to get that momentum started to rotate the gun forward. Now let's speed it up a little bit and see if we can get a very, very clean one. And then we will slow it down from there. So you can see, the jerk of the pistol coming up and on target with a spin in between those 2 steps. I should add that when you are bringing it up into a firing position, and like I said, you have that gun towards the front of your holster with a little bit of pressure, that you do want to snap forward. You want to get it out in front of you in a relatively quick amount of time, because that's what's going to keep the momentum moving. That's when the pistol is going to find itself on that flat parallel plane with the ground. Something like that. Like I said, snap that arm forward and you should be good. Now please do not mistake this one as a very, very easy little trick you can do. This one is quite demanding. Hopefully that doesn't detour you away from this very, very unique spin, especially coming from holster, and the end result is to get it on plane with that hammer cocked. And I do appreciate all of you getting this far in the video for another installment of fancy gun spinning tricks. Please leave a like if you've enjoyed today's video, or leave me a comment stating what you liked, or tell me what I should do next. I have a Patreon that has been opened up for a few months now. I take great pride in being community funded and community funded only. You will never see sponsorships on these videos. I do not want any external forces influencing the content either which direction. So everything here on St. Andrew TV is grassrooted and homegrown. Please do not feel obligated to go donate to the Patreon. Only if your means allow you to do so. The content on YouTube, the full-length videos of gun spinning, Wild West trick shots, outfits, other things of that nature will continue to remain free here on youtube.com/StAndrewTV. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed as of late, but maybe you stumbled across this video or this channel by accident because you like gun spinning in the Old West. Maybe you just like generic Wild West content. Or maybe you take Smokey the Bear's advice, understanding that only you can prevent forest fires. Think about hitting that subscribe button, because you're a daisy if you do.